Hey.
How you doing?
Sup? Stop!
That's friendly.
I try to be friendly. It's been a really long time since I read anything like this in public, so if it sucks or I completely screw it up, sorry. This is from my daughter, and it's called Last Words First. I love you. We start there because we have time. They say all we get is time, but those words send a chill down my spine and not in a good way. I'm here to say time just isn't enough. Even when we find a way to smooth away the fluff and chaff that fills a day, time well spent still ends. I think about this every time your body bends without your permission. Your mind fires off like a faulty ignition, and we learn to take precision for granted. We pick our nose and scratch our ass. It's crass, but we do it without a second thought. The simplest of tasks are prayer. We don't think about how our machines can execute them. But how is that fair when I've seen that all you want is to have, to hold, maybe even to grow old? I've got holes in my heart from every start that won't be part of your life. From every first that we thirst for only to be denied, we strive through strife to give you a life with what time we have left, but it's not enough. And even though you're not gone, I write eulogies on my heart, hardening it like ice against the blow I know will come and shatter me anyway. I beg you to stay with all that I am and all that I wish I was, but it's not up to me, and it's not up to you. You're destined to be the tree that never grew because a microbe bent you. And each day goes too fast, and each day odds get better that this one's our last. And there's plenty of things I regret in our past, like every day that I was too damn tired, and how many times I've been fired for being there for you, and not the asshole that signs my check. Every time I was a wreck who wrecked plates, and walls, and glass, and your mother's heart. And I look at you, a prisoner in your own skin, and each day your cry is how we begin. You cry every morning because you still can't talk, and you scream every day to think you still can't walk. But baby, you've got bravery so deep that frankly it's kind of a shock. You face down dock after dock and more needles than a junkie, and you've done it with a laugh. You smile as I push a cocktail of drugs a mile into the core of you. And this medicine's yellow, and this one is white, and this one is clear and seems to bend the light, and every time I do them I pray that I got it right. But truly, I've done it so much I could do it by touch, without sight. We fall into patterns, you and I. You said your last word first because you only have the one. I ought to know I'm the one who moved your lips each time so you could say mama. And from the first time to the last, when that word leaves your mouth, your smile burns brighter than the sun. So burn on, burn bright, light that shit up like the 4th of July. Give me a reason to smile back at you when all I want to do is cry. Because you'll never say Dada or I love you, even though I see in your eyes that it's true. Keep smiling, keep fighting. They think there's nothing there because all you have is cries, but you proved them wrong. You showed them you were wise when they held up 2 horses and asked, "Are these flies?" And I know your answer was a simple no, but only because they didn't give a fuck for you to preface it with. You had to work with what they gave, cards with words you may or may not know. Too often that's the hardest part, wondering what you know about why you don't grow quite like the other kids. About life, about time, about your heart and mine, about where we draw the line between fighting and begging. Begging for something different when it just can't be. Watching you, the prisoner of your own body, when all I want is for you to be free. I want to shout at the world, at their God. If God is love, how does that explain you? How does it justify the hell you suffered through? But they won't answer me, and my God already did. Science says a virus got beneath your skin before we could even begin. Something too goddamn small to see did all our dreams in. And they say wrath is a sin? You're damn right I'm mad. Your life drove the nail in the coffin of what little faith I had. Every time your body shakes, every time lightning races unbidden through your brain, it's the death of my flame, my spark of hope. I'm left stranded in the dark to grope for the light of your smile. your brilliantly shining grin, and it gives me a reason to fight, to beg, to never ever, don't you fucking dare give in. And I never will. That one promise I can keep true. I just bask in you and this beautiful girl you're growing into, and I know it's true. That just because you can't talk, it doesn't mean you've got nothing to say. Because every smile says, see me. And every cry says, hold me. And every laugh says, love me. And we do. We cradle you in arms that bear all the strength you ever knew. We cherish you like a prize and weather you like a storm when the course of your life gets rough. But it's still not enough. How could it ever be? Forever is not a word in our vocabulary. All we want is for the world to see not what you are, but what you could be. And too often they can't. But that's just fine. I can. And I'll scream it to the world in words, in verse. I feel like I've lived my life under a curse. I've lost enough for 5 lives, but loss doesn't end. And our hearts don't mend when we send love notes and farewells to tombstones. So I'll write your eulogy on my heart. I'll carry it with me next to you. I'll write a library for you. I'll give you all the words I ever knew and the ones I don't know, too. And when I run out, I'll find new words or make them up. Whatever works best to get us through this mess. Because words might be enough. Just once. Just once I wish we could talk. I'd ask, will you love me more? Will you love me more if I heal you? Will you love me more if I adopt battle dress to war with your sickness? Will you love me more if I make you my damsel in distress? What if I acquiesce to your fate? Obsess while you regress and live through constant duress? Will you love me more if... But I already know your answer. No. But Dad, I won't love you less. They say all you get is time, but that's not true. I get love. A world of love from you, and that's enough, because time is not. But there's simply nothing more I can do. So I'll do what I can. I'll do what you do. I'll say my last words first. I love you.